Success is achieved and maintained by those who try and keep trying. W. Clement Stone. My friends, let's jump into these charts. As we ended the day today, we see that stocks, both the S&P and the NASDAQ 100, are down for the day. Bonds, the only thing up. Gold is down big and Bitcoin down big, not as much as I saw it earlier. Ended down about 6.35%. At one point, I saw it was down 7-something%. Anyway, let's jump into these charts. The S&P pulling back about 0.5% today. You can see the Monday, Tuesday, 2-day candle. We got average volume there, above average in the morning and average in the afternoon. The real plunge took place in the morning. Recovered a little bit, it looks like, on these Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. In the afternoon, we are moving over, heading down. As we look at where we are on that weekly volume, we've still got another 3 days to go. So it looks like we'll probably get to average. And again, as we see the volume last week, seeking some price and it rolling over this week, does not surprise me at all that as we do our analysis, we've got a 65% probability of continued down moves over the next 5 days, looking at about $5 down. We see support at $591.53, resistance at $601.40, and the buy point $593, sell point $600. So again, if we hit those levels of support and bounce off, like at about the $591 or so mark, and then start, moving up, might hit all the way up to resistance there at about $600. Again, we go below that support, and you would expect that the price movement would continue on down as we close today, $594.24. So again, like I said, about a 65% continued movement in price down. Let's look at the cues. You can see now, again, we can redraw these trend lines however we want. If we match them up to the last 2 weeks, we can see we've fallen way off. Had about average volume last week. We're already approaching, we're only 2 out of 5 days in to the volume, and we're already over halfway up toward average on that weekly chart. 2-day chart, lots of volume these last 2 days, particularly price seeking on that red spinning top, and a big down candle punching through that weekly trend line, and we can see just powering up down moves on that half-day chart since things started rolling over last Thursday morning as they hit, just barely pushed through that prior high and then rolled down strong. Down for the day strong, 1.26%. And of course, as we look at our probability, we've got a 70% probability continued down movement. Support around the $511.04 level. Resistance at $525.11. We closed at $513.32. We see the buy point $512, sell point $524, about $6 a movement predicted over the next 5 days. That is where we are with our stocks. We're decidedly down. Now, again, what do we have to trade? Of course, if you've taken our Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way course, which comes free to everybody who signs up for Patreon at any of the 3 levels. You also get my latest book, 3-Wave Trading Advantage. We send that to you first thing when you sign up. You get the e-version. Boom, it comes right to you. You will love the book. I've received nothing but compliments, and I appreciate all that. If you have any criticisms, always like to hear them. There's things that are missing, things you need. I can update that book easily since it's an ebook, so let me know. So again, as we look at stocks, we do see them rolling over and powering down. Let's move on to bonds. Bonds banging up 1.72%. We've got a 75% probability of continued up movement. We ended the day at 91.42. We have support at 89.50. So again, if you see things punch through below that, not a good sign. Resistance at the 91.86 mark. So hopefully it'll punch through that tomorrow. Buy points at $90, sell points at $92. About $1.50 is what we see of up movement over the next 5 days. But man, did it punch up today. 1.72%. Bam. I mean, again, bonds just taking off. We're okay on the volume there. Maybe we'll get to average for the week. We're nicely over for this latest 2-day candle punching up in the morning. Let me see, a little higher in the afternoon, above average volume morning and afternoon. So you have volume to back up that price move. Now gold pairing off, down for the day. It pulled back pretty sharply, 1.32%. We can see as the move has slowed, as things have moved up and sliding sideways, we look at where our high was last week, 271.84. This week, 272.32. So we have reached a higher high. Boy, is that hard to see. Man, it is just hard to see. High of 271.84. 272.32. So it did punch up a little bit higher. I just wanted to zoom in on that, check it out. We can see volumes okay. Now, again, this doesn't mean negative volume. It means we opened lower than the prior close. All those prior closes with those green volumes were opening higher than the prior close. That's all that means. It doesn't mean negative volume, but it is a warning sign. And we see right here a big doji sitting right there above the trend line, and we see things heading down to it. Now, again, our probability for continued down movement right now, about 60%. And again, I don't put a lot into any of these probabilities till they get at least up to 75, if not 80%. So it's just a little over a flip of the coin. But again, it is a significant down move with lots of volume, at least in the morning. And again, a opening lower than the prior close and this doji on the 2-day. So there is some trepidation there of gold halting. So do keep a close eye on it. If you've been riding gold up, you may be looking for a reason to take some profits and pull out. Just let me give you the support levels. 264.98. We're at 268.62 as we close today. The resistance level 273.89. So ways to go there. And buy point 266. Sell point 272 and about a -4 expected movement, -$4. So keep an eye on gold. Now, Bitcoin, crushing it, heading down. Of course, I was thinking about everybody today, of course, who have been into BITI. That is, of course, the Bitcoin short. And look how liquid it is. It is not, I've seen it diverge quite a bit, but right now, 24.86, 24.95, that's quite liquid. Again, it is the inverse for Bitcoin as opposed to HODL, which is, of course, Bitcoin. But, again, it's fun to practice trade the inverse funds. I have always enjoyed inverse funds, but the kind of thing you really have to adopt a mindset for because, of course, inverse funds can kill you, particularly if you get into leverage, which I don't. I don't get greedy. I just like to be able to make money when markets go down. So it might be something you practice if you want to short Bitcoin. It is one way to do it. BITI, keep that in mind. You might practice trade that. If you hadn't taken our training on inverse funds, how to make money when markets crash, you need to, because you need to understand what happens with those particular inverse funds. There is a reckoning that you can that can occur for you in those. So you want to learn them, and you learn them by practice trading them. And of course, at $25, you could buy 4 shares. And if you lost 20%, it's $20. But you don't go in and buy 200 or 2,000 shares when you don't know what you're doing. You'll have it taken from you very, very quickly. Now, let's follow what's up with HODL. We don't see a lot of volume there for the week yet. Nice volume on the 2-day with this strong down move. As we look at the half day, you can see lots of volume in the morning, about average in the afternoon, but again, a big down day for Bitcoin. Of course, my hope is that Bitcoin will just continue to trundle down and then will reset nicely and we'll be ready when it bumps up. Down movement on Bitcoin, we've got an 80% probability of that continuing. We see support at $24.28, resistance at $27.63. Right now, Bitcoin, again, this is not the 24-hour a day chart. This is the ETF is at $24.91. And we see the buy point at $24.50, sell point at $27 for about a negative $2.50 expected move. That is where we are, my friends, as we close the day on, oh gosh, what is this? Tuesday. Move into midweek hump day tomorrow. Hope you guys are enjoying the market. I am. We will continue to track these charts. I hope you're doing some practice trades. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.